Hello and welcome back. Lynn the Sim here, and today we are doing a spooky build. So this is my Halloween build, and I know it's late, but I was not inspired until last night. So we are doing a spooky house. This is in Forgotten Hallow on the Windowshield Townhome lot. I think that's what it says. I can't read it. So it's a 30 by 20 lot, and I just kind of ran with spooky. I did not have any idea what I was building until I built it. Usually I come into this with like a plan, an idea, and this one I definitely did not. I just kind of started building. I don't know how I came up with the idea for like the style of the house or like any of that. I knew I had an idea of the roof, and then I was just like, okay, let's build it. Don't know what it is, but we're gonna build it. I hope you like it. But yeah, this is that build. And I did just kind of go traditional spooky. I went with like a lot of blacks. I did not use a whole lot of color in anything. I really tried to just keep it, traditional spooky. But I also didn't go really crazy with the Halloween or vampire stuff. I think I did use like some vampire stuff, but I really tried not to. But the plants are like ideal for a spooky build, like the creeping vines and the dead trees. Like it works really well. And it didn't make sense not to use it just because I didn't want to use vampire stuff. So I used vampire stuff. I did not limit myself on this build. I did not set a lot value limit or any kind of pack limit. So I just kind of used everything. I think I used a lot of cats and dogs and vampires. I don't know if I used anything else. No, you know what? I did. I used Get Famous for the windows because I felt like they worked pretty well. I liked the black. I really tried to find a worn set of windows to work for it, and I had a hard time. And I actually didn't want to use the vampire windows. I felt like that would go too far. So, to give you guys kind of an idea for this build, since I didn't know what it was going to be, and I started off, I built the shell, I built the exterior, like the first floor, the second floor, and then I drew in a basement. I didn't know what was going to be in the basement when I first started going. And so I built the whole house with the assumption that, whoever's living there is trying to appear normal, but they've got a secret in the basement. And I built the whole house around that idea. And so like you'll see me placing windows and then moving them because I'm like, oh no, wait, can't put that there. There's a secret there. Window doesn't make sense. And that's kind of why. And so we'll get to the secret basement. I guess it's not so secret if I'm telling you about it right now, but we'll get to that in a minute. I don't really want to spoil it just yet. Although I guess the title could be a good spoiler for that. It does kind of give it away a little bit, but it's not too bad. I was really set on having this be a brick building. I don't really know why. It felt kind of right, So, and I used all of the exterior walls, they're all also brick. And so the only walls that I used any sort of wallpaper on was anything that wasn't an exterior wall. So like that wall next to the stairs, the walls for the bathroom, those have wallpaper or tile, depending on where they are. To kind of, so I'm like, maybe they wanted the original brick or they had trouble, I don't know, they had trouble adding plywood, what? No, drywall, words. Drywall over the brick or something. I don't know. So they kept it all the original brick for the outside walls. And then, yeah, here we go. And then just wallpapered everything else because it was all added later. It was, yeah. And then I decided I didn't, like I said, I didn't want it to be too spooky. I wanted it to look like they're trying to be normal. And so, like, I've got these fancy cabinets. I think are they the Parenthood ones? I can't actually tell. I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention just now when I placed them. And so it's like, oh, they redid the kitchen. But you'll see as we go along, like the house is kind of run down. Like there's a lot of cracks in the walls, some holes here and there, like that kind of thing. I could have gone a lot harder on the cracks in the walls, but they are kind of tedious to place. And I'm not going to lie, they are hard to see on this brick, and so you'd have to really be looking to even see that I placed them. You'd have to know they were there, or you'd have to be looking for them. So I wasn't too set on adding a whole bunch. Had a lot of trouble figuring out what to use in the bathroom, because I did want it to be a darker tile, but I didn't want it to be like, I don't know, all black. And so this Parenthood one worked pretty well. And then the flooring I struggled with. And I think I did end up going with a vampires flooring in here. It was just like there's one with a blue tint or with a blue accent. That one, yeah. And I thought, you know what, this kind of brings out the blue in the wall, so I used that. I'm honestly still not set on that decision, so it is what it is. I don't know. But you see, I added the bookcase doors, because of course, if you want to have a secret basement, you need a bookcase door. So I added 2, so it seemed less suspicious, because just to have one bookshelf, you know, that's it might look a little weird in one spot. But if you have two bookshelves, that can't be a door. 2 bookshelves can't be a door. No. So those are just bookshelves for certain. No shenanigans going on here. Nothing suspect. It's all normal. And so that's why you see 2 doors. It's because to add into we're normal here. I don't know what you're talking about kind of vibe of the house. But you'll see I do use a lot of like older looking furnishings, like the chest TV stand, and I think I add like some other stuff that's kind of got the same vibe later on, just to make it seem like they've had it for a while, like it's kind of antique stuff, if you will. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one, although I did run into that same issue that everyone else has been running into lately with the terrain paint disappearing, and I actually caught it on video, which was good for explaining the issue, but really annoying for like coming back, because you know I recorded this build last night. If you're watching this on Halloween, I recorded it last night, and I forgot to get screenshots last night. You know, I finished building, I did the recording, I put it in my video software to render, you know, to optimize everything overnight, because I didn't want to deal with it because it takes a really long time. And so this morning I was like, oh, I need screenshots. And so I went to get screenshots, and all of my terrain paint disappeared overnight. And I was like, but no. And so I did have to go back in this morning and redo all my terrain paint for my screenshots before I could, you know, finish the video and upload it. So that was fun. I'll probably point it out when I get to the exterior and start doing plants and stuff, but oh my gosh. And I'm like, it's a good thing I remember what I did, because I honestly, like, I would forget that kind of thing. I would forget what I did, like, in a heartbeat. And I was so sad. I kind of wanted to make this a loft, but it wasn't working. Every time the roof would cut in, and that would be weird. Sorry, I think I just hit the mic. The roof would cut in, and then it would be weird, and it would just get annoying. You see me trying a bunch of different times, and I keep on deleting the floor with the bed, and then the bed's just floating, and it's like, no. Work with me here. It did not work with me. I could not do a loft. I gave up. I didn't want to try that hard. And so I am just building out the bedroom, you know, making it a little more full, because it's a lot of space, and that's kind of why I wanted it to be a loft, to cut off the space so that it would be a little more compact and I wouldn't have to decorate quite so much. But in the end, I did a lot. I feel like I considered adding in a fireplace, because I think it would have looked nice in here, but I couldn't find a good spot for it with everything I already had. So I think I did something else, or just put things back the way they were. I do really like that corner couch. I wish I'd put something behind it, but I don't even know what I would put behind it right off the top of my head right now. I would have to dig into plants and decor to see if I could find something. And then I just wanted to add like a couple of random things, and so I don't know, an easel sounded good. You know, and then I just like the bonsai tree. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it. It's a nice, relaxing kind of thing. You know, it just seems so serene. It's like, yeah, let's have a bonsai tree. they've got a secret in the basement. The bonsai tree will help them like calm down if they ever think they're getting caught. So, oh, look at that. I think we're just doing the walls in here. Yeah, the walls on the floor. I was trying to make it seem like kind of natural. I really wanted a wall that matched the foundation, but I could not find one. This was the closest I could get because the foundation is get together, and then so is that wallpaper. And I was like, well, I guess that's what we're using. I don't know. I had a lot of fun placing that. I was like, I'm determined. I have to let them know that that is from someone swinging the bathroom door open like really wide, and it just hit the door, or it hit the wall, and there's a hole in the wall there now. I don't know why I'm explaining this. The whole goal was to have like that be obvious, but you know, life doesn't really work that way sometimes, and I like to explain what I'm doing. Isn't that the point of a voiceover? I don't know. I think it's just a chat. So what's up with you guys? Anything new? Did you have a good Halloween? I spent a lot of time on these vampires damage decor. And I guess I used cats and dogs because the scratches are cats and dogs, but like I did spend a lot of time just like trying to fit them in. And you notice like you can't even, at least on my screen that I'm looking at, it's kind of hard to see. You might have a larger screen that you're looking at, but from here it's like I went through a lot of trouble doing that. Was it worth it? I think it gets a lot more fun when we get to the exterior. By exterior, I mean landscaping. I got really annoyed that sorry, I got distracted by a hole in the foundation, but I think I fixed it. I had to move the ladder because it caused that hole in the foundation. I think I do come back later and fix it, but I really don't remember. Here's to hoping, you know? But I did have a lot of fun with the landscaping. I went a little bit more crazy than I normally do because, like I said, I'm not worried about... Okay, sorry, quick note. This is what disappeared first. And we're going to watch it disappear later, but this is the first piece of terrain paint that I do. And then later I like undo something else and it disappears entirely. It was really annoying. But you see, there's a lot of things in between me placing that and me doing more terrain paint and undoing the terrain paint that I didn't like. Like a lot of things. I placed trees. So that was fun. I don't know why I put so much thought into those trees. I'm like, no, just throw them down. Trees don't think about where they are. They just go. And so I felt like I put too much thought into those trees. I'm sure it's fine. They're just trees, right? You agree with me, right? Meh. But yeah, I did have a lot of fun. I feel like I went a little overboard in the end with some of the landscaping, but you know, it's fun to go a little crazy with landscaping when you don't have a budget, because like that was the thing. I usually have a budget. A lot of times lately I'm doing starter homes or like something super tiny. Like my last video was an under 4K basic starter home. And I only used debug for landscaping on that, and I could have used more, but you know, you don't want to go too overboard. You don't, especially for a starter home, you don't want to make it too crazy. And so for this one, I was like, it's not a starter home. I'm not gonna limit myself, and I'm just like, place things down a whole bunch, place things down everywhere. We're gonna have everything. All of the trees, rocks, plants, grass, like everything. I did really enjoy this build. I like spooky things in general. I haven't celebrated Halloween in like a really long time, but like my 16th birthday party, my birthday's in October, and so my 16th birthday party or my 15th birthday party, my dad, I lived out in the middle of nowhere in like the Midwest, and we had like this giant barn that my dad turned into like a big haunted house. Like he turned our barn into a haunted house and like invited our neighbors, and like it was this whole thing. We had a whole bunch of people. We had guys hiding in the barn to scare you, a guy running around with a chainsaw without the chain on it, of course. It was just so, I think that was honestly one of my best birthday parties because like I said, I lived out in the middle of nowhere. All of my friends lived in town, and so it was like impossible for me to have like really fun birthday parties sometimes. But that one was pretty good. Halloween was our thing. That was a thing back then. We did like haunted mazes and hay rides, not for that birthday party, but like in general, that was a thing that we did. And it's been a long time since I've really kind of celebrated Halloween. It feels more awkward now. You know, you'll go to an office Halloween party and they'll be like, you should dress up as this thing, or we're going to do a group dress up. And it's like, are we though? Is this mandatory? Do I have to? It's not really my thing. I don't dress up. Really, I don't. I like the atmosphere of it, but we really don't. I don't dress up. I don't like being the center of attention, which is weird considering I'm doing this video. But YouTube is different. YouTube is not the center of attention, especially in this day and age. There are so many people on YouTube that this is nothing. But yeah, I'm still so sad that all of this terrain paint just disappeared. I really hope the newer terrain paint I put down is better than this one, because I'd be really sad if this is better than what I put down in the end. My screenshots are the new terrain paint, so you'll have to let me know when we get to the end of the video if which terrain paint is better. I feel like that one was too bright. I went for a darker one, I think, with round 2. I love Halloween. I do. I love it. I love spooky things. I don't really do any spooky things anymore. I'm only a little sad about that. And plus, with quarantine and everything this year, there's not really a lot you can do other than maybe watch a scary movie. But I don't do movies, honestly. I've never really been big into watching movies. I'm more about, like, the experience of it all. Like, we decorated. We were that kind of family. We would decorate for Halloween. We would, like, go all out. But yeah. I don't know. Okay, so this is where I was trying to figure out what they were hiding in their basement. I could not figure out. No. I'm just decorating the walls here. This isn't even the end. I must have been really tired when I built this because I don't remember doing a lot of it. Oh, those windows. I struggled with those windows a lot. Could never figure out what to do with them. Yeah, it's just like me finding things. I'm like, oh, that would be better outside. Oh, that would be good on the wall. Oh, I should put this on the first floor. And so it's just, I'm all over the place. I can't focus on one thing at a time. I'm like, okay, we've got a little graveyard, a separate one back here behind this dead tree, and these guys up in the front. I tried really hard to get this gargoyle placed, but the terrain change, like having it higher, it really made it hard to find a level place to put it. So now I think I start going through everything and trying to figure out what to put in this room. Like, what is their secret? What are they hiding? Turns out they're a cult leader, if you will. I found this is what made all the difference. I got this book on a stand. I'm like, okay, we are gonna be some kind of cult leader. Maybe we are vampire hunters or something. Or maybe this is like some other kind of cult. Like maybe we are really into vampires in this cult. Maybe this is the vampire meeting house and they have their monthly meetings here to like talk about things relating to vampires. So we've got this wall of vampires over here, and I think I did the lichens on the other wall. Yeah. Excuse me, I don't remember who they are. I just remember something about lichen or whatever. One of them's a vampire, one of them's a werewolf, and they got married, essentially. I think that came with spooky stuff. And then I just kind of ran with that idea. I was like, okay, that's what this is. This is some kind of like cult area you can teach or preach or whatever here. So that's what we're going with. And yeah, I thought it turned out pretty fun. Like it seemed random to me. Like we don't have that kind of gameplay in The Sims, so it's not like I was just like, oh, it's a vampire's dungeon and this is where he sleeps. It's his coffin. Like I didn't really want to go quite that, I don't know, basic with the game. Like I wanted it to be kind of outside of normal gameplay with that idea, and so I just kind of, kept it pretty simple. And honestly, I did not go too crazy with the furnishings or the cluttering in this house. I really kept it kind of bland, might be one way to put it, but I kept it pretty low key. I did not go too crazy. I really should have put something behind the TV or next to the couch on the wall, but I decided I was done at some point, and that was it. I never went back to edit it other than to put the terrain paint back. I think I might have added pumpkins post-edit, but I don't really remember. You'll see them in the screenshots, I think. Because, like, I was like, we need some kind of decor out here, not just plants. Wait, did I get the pumpkins in? I don't know. I can't remember. I want there to be pumpkins, but I don't know if there are pumpkins. Part of me is like, maybe someone, like, cleaned up this house really nice and they, like, sold it recently. And, like, the people that bought it are just, like, keeping super basic furniture. And they found the secret basement. And they're like, oh, we're going to do sacred basement things now. We're going to have a cult. We're going to be crazy, you know? And this is where I kind of was like, okay, let's find a little bit more used furniture, if you will. Like, that country table is kind of like, it looks a little used and older. And then, of course, this also looks a little older. A little more of an antique style. But I think I'm getting close to the end. There's a little bit more landscaping to do. I think I add another tree. Pretty sure I add a fence. And then, of course, some more terrain paint that later disappears and gets replaced. But that's... Oh, I use romantic garden stuff. Interesting. Sorry, guys. Oh, you're about to see my initial path disappear. It's going to be here in a minute. I was so frustrated when it happened, and I was like, I'm going to have to look back at the footage and see where that disappeared, because that was... I was like, why? I swear I didn't remove it. What is going on? And, like... Yeah, I think it was like I placed down some terrain paint, and then I did some undo clicks, like Control Z. I clicked that button a few times, and in that process, it's about to happen. See, it's gone. It's gone. My front path is gone. I'm so sad about that. Then at some point, I'm like, wait, what? I was happy with the way the first one looked. It's dumb. I'm not bitter. You're bitter. What are you talking about? I don't know. I think it still turned out pretty well. I like the plants growing up the side, and like how messy the back is. I feel like that's kind of realistic. Like the back of a house like this would definitely have just gone to crap at this point. So I think I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I hope you guys like it. It was a fun build. Like I said, I love Halloween. But now I'm going to go into screenshots, so I hope you guys like the build. Let me know in the comments below. Feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.